Not even death can save you from the dark. You truly have become trapped within the mists.
I liked Shane's last hype up session for last session.
What did I do last time?
How did you hype us up last time?
Yeah, I don't remember. It must
Did I
have not
miss
been
that?
good.
What did we
the fuck?
do?
Yeah.
Did you just do a private hype up session with my wife?
Yeah. I have
no.
questions.
No, he was like, "Are you guys excited?" And
Yeah.
everyone fed off of that, and
Yeah.
we just
I'm excited.
worked us up.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah,
Are you guys
oh my
excited?
God.
Really?
I'm so excited.
Are you
I
excited?
need to go
Because I
change my
literally-
pants.
I gotta be done by 8 the latest today. So let's fucking
Okay.
go.
Take the latest. All right.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
It gives us about 3 hours. That's not bad at all. That's a good D&D session.
Well, Sunny could also just bounce.
Yeah, get the
That's true.
Oh, no.
go back into your trance,
Especially
elf
if we're in
boy.
combat. Like, then I'm not all that important to you. So.
You're important combat.
You're a
I
wizard.
mean,
You can just make sure you cast the color spell and then leave.
there you go. There you go. That's it. I'll do that.
Please, totally just shut down massive enemies.
Incapacitate the battlefield and then Sunny goes off to smoke a joint.
That's literally what you did last at the farm.
You cast color magic. Oh my god.
How could this
Or
be?
We can RP that Sunny is like a part of casting that spells that Sunny becomes entranced every time. It's like he's just standing there. Oh god, it's so cool.
Nice.
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 Shitty idea. Nice.
Nice. Dude. Fucking love it. All right.
Rich bitch.
You're rich.
Sorry, no.
Are you
No?
ready?
What are you talking about, Caleb?
Nothing. Go. We're playing
Okay.
D&D.
Okay.
I'm just talking out my ass.
All right, man.
Just making noises.
Sure. Okay. Here we go.
It's crazy that I got the starts.
Last time, on Within the Mist, you all had reached the gates of Krezik after a journey along the Sphalic roads north towards Mount Baratok and the village you saw. Upon reaching the gates, you were greeted by guards who went and fetched the Burgermeister, a man who called himself Lord Dmitri Kreskov, who, after an exchange of words, denied your party entry to his village, claiming none came and went through Krezik without his blessing and without good reason. Showing him the strength of your arms and the gift given to you from the old raven, casting that bright sunlight spell into a land cursed to see no such light. The men on the walls had shielded their eyes, but Lord Dmitri was not moved from his stance of disallowing you entry, claiming ones who had such power were either allies or enemies of the Lord Devil who ruled over Barovia, and he wanted to grant neither entry within the realm of his humble people. But, still, wanting to honor his position and his ancestors, and worried for his son, Lord Dimitri asked if you could either fetch his son, the young Isaac, or find what had come of him. And after presenting this query, this quest, Esme had claimed a young boy had been found on the road, though cruelly he had been slain. And while Dimitri was still uncertain if the young man that Esme claimed to have found on the road was his son, he still wished, if his son could not be returned to him, then at least vengeance should be taken. And instead, he has sent you to claim the head of Kirill, the pack leader of the werewolves, and also the one who the old raven claimed had slain him and his son and set his winery ablaze, and also the one who supposedly hunts you as well and has sent his pack after you at least once on the road. And now, the sun, having set, though hidden forever behind the overcast, dark clouds, the night has come, and with it an even deeper chill within the northern regions of Barovia, just south of Mount Baratuk. Crested within these rocky hills, steep slopes, and pine-filled forests, there's this almost peaceful quietness as the fire crackles and the clouds overhead momentarily break to show that there is a nice, full, pale moon that casts a respite into this clearing, a sort of silvery light that at least makes it feel a bit like home. Having left the firelight, Raziel has taken a post for watch, and the Shadow Mastiff Erebus has followed his master to sit in the shadows of the tree, melding with them and disappearing for now as he sits silent, watching along with Raziel from the treetops. Esme, having grown perhaps eager to get over the walls, had attempted to slip from her tent, though Tilandra, ever watchful, had seemed to get in the way of each one of these attempts, and Esme instead has retired to her tent. I believe Richard has dealt with his horses, who are blanketed with furs that were used to wrap the goods that were delivered down. And they are standing, though resting. And Richard, unaffected by the cold, you have rolled out a bedroll and used your pack as a pillow, your armor disassembled. And the rest of you, I believe, were just getting ready to settle in for the night, as the wizard Sunny slipped into his trance. Raziel being on the first watch, is there anything anyone else would like to do?
I was not going into my trance yet.
Fair enough.
I was sitting far away from the fire, playing with my plants. If you remember, the last thing I left on was that you saw 3 small dancing shadows in front of me. My back is to the fire, and I'm fiddling with my plants.
Okay.
But I'm a good 10-15 feet away.
All right.
I am currently nestled up in a stool on the in front of Esme's tent flap door, and I have not really a stool, maybe just like a cut piece of log flipped into a chair, and I have my cloak wrapped about my person, tucked in tightly, with kind of my head down. I'm still awake, but kind of letting the firelight do its best to warm my body as I rock back and forth and kind of keep one eye open at the tent flap to my left.
Calliope has gone to bed, and she is snugly in her tent with warm water bottles from the pot of water she heated over the fire, and is just sleeping as snug as a bug in a rug until it's her turn to take watch. Which I'm hoping Raziel, in his weird position where I don't know where he is, will remember to wake me up, is my only concern.
I am, by the way, DM ritual casting my plant growth, which I believe I can grow a new plant in 1 hour, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so I'm not ritual casting the spell yet. I'm doing, 15 minutes into the hour, I will start the ritual cast of my, companion. So that together it takes an hour, yeah.
All right. Richard, is there anything you would like to?
I'll sleep with the rest of the group.
Esme, are you heading to bed?
May is tucked up in her bedroll, definitely sleeping.
Definitely
And I
sleeping.
just want to clarify,
Definitely still not pouting.
I wanna
Oh, she's
clarify-
pouting.
for my memory, right now we have right, never mind. I remember. We have left town. We're denied entry to the town, left to go kill the werewolf, at which point we will come back to town and hopefully gain entry. I just want to make sure I've got the details right on the sequence of events there, correct?
We haven't left yet. We're camping underneath the town wall right now.
Right. Yeah, just for my stoner memory.
But otherwise, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Caught up. Sonny had to catch up, he wasn't paying attention. As usual.
You
Out for a
have
smoke.
been told the location or whereabouts of the den of the werewolf, and you know
Right.
this Kirill figure supposedly is hunting.
Right. And part of that info was from the interrogation on that werewolf, correct? Cool. Cool beans. Good storylines going on.
Kind of come over to the pile of wood. I notice the fire is dying and kind of grab. Just kind of keep adding wood to the fire. And as I walk by, I kind of notice Sunny getting up to whatever nonsense. You're not doing anything that's going to get us kicked out already, are you?
Jalandra, come, have a look.
Hesitantly kind of kneel down by whatever Sunny is concocting, trying to maybe keep a little distance in case it blows up in my face, smoke or otherwise.
Right. And so what you see is focusing closely, display my hands open to show you. You see the familiar, you see a plant growing out of the ground. You can, if you look closely, physically see it growing in real time, spurred on by magic, clearly not 100% organic. And it may remind you of the way that one of our party members who traveled with us for a very long time, another certain woodland creature, the way that he may have interacted with plants. And sort of expanding from this one plant are dancing around it like a maypole, if you will. 3 now figures, each one a bit less distinct. One clearly is Acorn Buddy, the creature that you've seen Sunny with many times. One, though, is tall and lanky, seems almost more twiggy, and shades of purple and blue. That one is a bit more ominous. One is much shorter and much more squat, and has much more fungal elements to it. This is what I've been working on, Delandra. Not just one, but many. I can't sustain all 3 like this. But look, this one here, and I point at the tall one. He can make our enemies dumber, less intelligent. This one here, and I point at the mushroom one. He's a fighter. I believe in him. And this one here, I point at Acorn Buddy, I believe you've been acquainted with already.
During this whole, spiel, you've seen Talandra many times try to open her mouth to respond, but Sunny just kind of keeps talking. And so
maybe we need cameras.
finally, kind of Talandra has to, wait, and then...
Well, I'm halfway in meditation here, so I'm not really focused on you. I'm more my eyes are still closed, and I'm almost
I got it.
to these words. Yeah.
It's fine. I got you. Well, it seems that you've been able to master an element of Barovia's nature. It's quite impressive, actually. This place seems wild and untamable at times. But it seems like, look at you, harnessing these rather grotesque little creatures.
I rather think Acorn Buddy is cute. But yes, I've learned a great deal from my friends and from this place. Allow me to keep working here. I've got to make one of these form into something sentient.
Of course. I go back and I kind of pick up my bag. Well, good luck to you, Sonny. Try to at least keep it out of eyeshot of the guards, and I kind of gesture a thumb up to the wall. I don't think they'll appreciate anything strange coming from us. Well, and I just kind of cut off my thought and I head back to my little stump by Esme's tent.
Let me ask DM, can I get a I don't know if there's a level of cover less than partial cover, but since I've got from an RP standpoint, I've got all three of them kind of dancing around, but none of them are fully formed. Could I get a little bit of smoke cover from the smoke one? That way the guards can't just immediately look down and see me. Do that, and I light up an herbal cigarette at the same time.
Sure. We'll say your ritual that you have going sort of creates this almost trifecta of all the different cloud effects as they're dancing, but they're just, sort of localized in your small area. So while you're working from the tower, from the walls, you're very obscure. Very, very mysterious wild wizard working on his magic behind his cloak.
And I tuck in and just prepare for mine own watch.
All right. So, sleeping soundly, Esme, Richard, Calliope, Talandra, do you curl up and try and get some rest for your watch?
Yeah.
So, about 10 p.m., as you are able to refocus, Sunny, on your casting. You've been working on it since, 9 or so. So, you are nearing the end of your ritual. Do you have the spell components, the 50 gold pieces worth of material that the familiar swap costs?
The herbs, you mean?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I bought a good amount of all three types back in the, and I haven't used any of the nightshade herbs yet, which is what I'm going to use today.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Or no, I'm sorry, I'm going to use that's not the one I'm going to make.
Okay.
I'm going to make the mushroom one today, because we're going to go more, because we're going combat. So we're going mushroom today.
Okay. Fair enough. And the rest of you fall asleep, cold as it is. The warm clothing and the firelight keeps the majority of the freezing temperatures at bay. Richard seem unaffected, which is either strange to you or something that you roll with. Richard's typically unfazed by these sorts of things, but whatever his reaction is, he is quite comfortable in this cold weather. That brings us to our man on watch. Is there anything you would like to do while you're keeping watch from your almost makeshift deer stand in the tree? Which I'm assuming is kind of what's going on. You're up in like a mid-branch amongst the shadows.
Correct.
So while you're up
Therapist
here,
down there. I'm just I'm doing prestidigitate, and I'm kind of like
to stay warm.
hunkering down, and just almost like that as magic user would in a survival situation, using my inner tiefling. Getting warm.
You
And
also
I'm watching out very closely.
you have that warm clothing now too. If you donned any of that, I don't remember if you did, but you can if you want to.
I don't think I grabbed any. I think everybody else had some.
Okay. There were enough.
There were enough that I would have it on, but
Okay.
seems cold
Okay.
without blankets.
Perhaps it's your tiefling blood wanting a bit warmer climate and some spicy food. You still have your hot peppers? I don't think I've seen you eat any of
Have not.
them.
Keep those for certain situations.
They're kind of frozen
This-
right now anyway.
Just keeping watch.
Okay. You watch.
Maybe warming up a pepper. With my presentation as well.
That break in the clouds.
You'll get that word one day.
Right.
Prestidigitation? It's a hard one. Or is it a different word?
Enunciate.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's
Anyway.
I love it.
As your sharp eyes watch out into the clearing, you can't help but notice the sky above as that pale, heavy moonlight is slowly muted by heavy, dark, rolling clouds. Massive, they envelop that cold, black, and gray, misty sky, stealing away what pale light had shined at night within this strange Barovian realm. Along with those dark clouds comes heavy snowfall. Roll me a perception check for the first hour. If you would not mind, Mr. Raziel. 19, that's pretty good. Alright, so peering through that heavy snowfall, difficult as it is, you're able to make out, perhaps subconsciously or instinctually, you've been watching the patrols on the wall. And while at first it seemed like there were men that guarded the wall about every 100 feet or so, you've been watching those who move and patrol and actually feed lit braziers that keep the wall warm and filled with a bright glowing light. Excuse me. And you've seen some of the men stop at what appeared to be figures standing guard. Though, as the wind blows against them, you recognize they are mannequins, dressed to appear as though there's more guards on the wall than there really are. You do notice the guards are more spaced out about every 300 yards in reality. And what first appeared to be about 40 men on the wall now appears to be closer to 15 or 18. There's a couple men who still peer over the wench down at your party as they make camp and settle in, but they don't look to be malicious in any way. Is perhaps keeping an eye on strangers who have nested within the shadows of their village that does not see much travel.
Make note. Finding it strange and odd at the same time. How could there be such less men, yet nothing has decided to breach this? He finds that an odd contradiction. Makes note, tries to perhaps pay more now attention to this wall with his eyes, but he would like to... He's up here listening for howls or movement. He knows that party is potentially being tracked. How long, how often, unsure. So he's using his 2-hour watch, 2 to 3 hour watch to mainly listen for that, but after catching that, he wants to take a better look at this wall.
Okay. What else would you like to know about the wall, Raziel? Seems well
There
built.
seem to be any signs of wear, tear, specifically when it comes to battles, struggles.
You don't notice any unusual weathering on the wall, like as if it's been struck by heavy artillery or as if it's been besieged before. It certainly looks as though the village, from your standpoint, now that you can see a little higher up and within, the wall itself is the most substantial structure here. Seeing over the top of the wall just slightly lets you see into the village, and it is very much a village. You see very little infrastructure, and it's mostly wooden huts. Most are single story, with only a couple being two-story. The village itself is very heavily forested within the walls. And you can see many of the houses have fenced-in yards where chickens, goats, and maybe what you can see is perhaps like a skinny cow through the mist and the snow. It's very humble within the walls. The wall itself, as I said, is the most substantial structure here. Along with, which now that you are listening, you catch distant at first. It's not a howl. It's the tolling of a bell. One that's been tolling periodically since you've reached this village every now and then. Though it doesn't seem to follow any sort of hourly timing. Now begins to ring as the bell atop the chapel, while on a steep slope past Kresik, rings out through the cloudy night sky. It rings 11 times. Perhaps this one's actually tolling the time of night, though it's hard to tell with how erratic the tolling of the bell has been thus far. You've noticed it before, but this is the first time you've really taken note of it, really had time to think about it as you've been listening out into the woods. It's the first time you've heard it on your watch, at least. Those are the two most substantial things you see about Kresik. The wall looks old, not built recently, but it's hard to tell exactly how old from this distance. You can see it's about, not that you've asked, but since you have taken interest in it, Raziel, you sort of note the measurements. About 20 feet thick, 40 feet high, and perhaps made of solid stone. Maybe hollow in places where the towers run down. Certainly well built, perhaps made from the skills, ancestors of Lord Dimitri. Though it's no doubt far beyond their capability to build something quite this substantial these days. And that's how the first hour passes.
Okay. He kind of has a little bit of a Charlie Day moment, and he's a little bit perplexed, wondering just exactly how old this town is. Why such a dominant wall, yet no signs of battle? Yet they have dummies up top to, what, be like scarecrows? That doesn't even make any sense. If nothing's attacking them, is this the last bastion of hope? What's in there? He sits there and just has a repeat type of conversation, just circular, going nowhere, for the last hour while still listening. He's just now
All
in
right.
conspiracy mode.
It's about halfway through your second hour before you hear it. Distant. Far. It's difficult to tell exactly which direction, but you hear the first howl of the night. Hopefully the last. That hope does not last long. It's followed by another, though again distant. With your perception roll, you can tell the howls are coming from the northeast. far, far into the forests, perhaps from the roots of Mount Baratok, the direction that werewolf had claimed the den of his people, of his kin, of Kirill, that pack leader. In that direction is where that den lies. Distantly you hear those howls. They continue to echo. The next half hour, and then they grow distant again, and then they cease. Nice.
The steeled look on his face. A conviction. A dedication. Justice and vengeance. I make my way down the tree.
You
Slowly
reach
walk back to camp.
the bottom
My
of the
dog.
tree, and for the first time you notice it. But about 200 feet to the right of you, standing just on the edge of the clearing. You're not certain how you didn't make it out before, but perhaps it's the color of the beast itself. But you see, standing tall, is a white bull elk. And perhaps this is the only thing that caused you to notice it. But it is staring in your direction, Raziel. And in its gaze you see a glowing amber light.
I stare at it, locking my eyes with its. And I will slowly make my way to just here. And watch it.
Seeing you approach, you watch as the creature turns and looks as though it's hesitating for a moment as it looks at you. And then with a cry, a sort of elk bellow, and a steam of hot air mists from its mouth and its nostrils, and it turns. And it runs back into the forests.
Make note of which direction it went. Maybe feeling a little bit of hope. Perhaps cause and effect. Well, for reaction and reaction.
I approach Raziel. I'm assuming at this point my ritual must be long done, right?
Your ritual would have definitely finished by now.
So I would like to walk over and approach Raziel. Raz, I think I saw it too. Did you get a good look? What was that?
Not sure. An elk, perhaps. But that could have been just its avatar.
I
A spirit.
fear something much more than just an elk here.
Oh no. Consistently being guided, my friend.
Can I
Give me
make...
hope.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off your dialogue. Can I make a roll, of some sort of nature roll or something to try to either... I got two ideas. One, just based on the glimpse that I might have gotten of it from 20 feet away, just try to see what it is, but maybe a better idea, try to look at the tracks and see if I can tell what type of animal it is.
You'd have to head over there. It was from where you were. It was a good 250 feet away, so you caught the
that's
briefest glimpse of it. But you certainly, I'll say, definitely you noticed it with your
Right, well,
sharp
this one
wood
I've
elf
walked over
eyes.
where
Yeah.
I've walked over to where Raziel is, so is that...
Raziel has
I'm-
returned to the campsite.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to go. It doesn't
was
make sense.
quite a bit of ways.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense for my character to go and walk 250 feet away right now. Maybe we'll investigate that tomorrow morning as a group. But maybe I can gather. Maybe we can just like fast forward over him, like explain, like detailing the creature out to me, and then I can see if I can identify it in some way.
All right. Raziel, you
Or maybe-
explain the creature to Sunny.
I would definitely just give you the briefest, and like I just said, it appeared to be an elk. To me,
Really,
it wasn't. In my mind, I've said, I feel like we are being guided.
right? Okay. So
The
I guess the
spirits
main
of this
thing
land.
is if I could determine if it was a normal organic animal or a magical creature. That would be great. If I could try to roll for that. I don't know if I can. It's up to you. Of course, everything's up to you. You are God.
With that brief description and from your distance, it would be hard to roll for anything. Go ahead and roll me a knowledge arcana, though.
Okay. Oh my god, I missed the button.
A 17. In Barovia, it's hard to know what's what. Could be a magical creature. A giant elk in this land with these predators. It is strange, especially to be so bold.
I want to share this thought with Raziel. You are right, my friend. There's no way a creature that large, meaty, and frankly delicious would have survived out here. An elk, rather defenseless, rather large target. In the morning, let's investigate with the whole team when it's safe. Perhaps even follow the tracks for a bit. And at those words, you see poke out of my pocket a new little companion. Something short, stout, with a little red mushroom top, almost like a cap. And he's very yoked. He's ready to brawl, this guy. And around his top, you can see that the cap has openings, as if breathing in and out through these openings with a very subtle gas escaping. Not enough for you to even smell or taste, but you can tell it's there.
I would have, after the description, been making my way over to Calliope's tent, watching you talk to yourself, just doing your thing.
Okay,
Simply chuckle.
I like it.
I simply chuckle. And I
embracing, still talking to himself.
I see all of it, make no comment, open Calliope's tent, and gently tap on her boot.
And in doing so, you get a very vicious stomp kick, and Calliope wakes up in a shudder, not used to somebody twiggling her boot instead of saying, "Up, soldier." I just look at you. My turn.
Yes. And sorry. Didn't want to be rude.
Never mind. The tent is warm. It's yours. But I will stay closer to camp than you were. My eyes are not as perceptive at night as yours. And Calliope will walk out, loosening her muscles, donning her swords, looking at Sunny.
Who you would see, I'm just still sort of mumbling to myself, but visibly falling into my trance as my words trail off. I notice, the change in guards, and I'm going to take this moment to actually rest. So, mumble off into my restful trance by the fire.
So, it is midnight. It has been 2 hours. So anyone who was resting from the beginning of Raziel's watch, you may receive the benefits of a short rest.
I'm going to pass out right on this log, and I'm going to command Erebus. Erebus, help guard this place with this young paladin.
Calliope sits on the same log, but facing outwards towards this winter field, looking for any dangers. even though she kind of peers up towards the wall. Do I notice or perceive that some of these are dummies?
Roll me a perception check.
As well, sort of hearing the camp shuffling after some time of it being fairly calm, Esme too will sort of stretch a little and come from the tent, making her way sort of around Talandra carefully. Whether she's asleep or not, she's just sort of very comically and cat-like adjusting her body to bend around.
Hear a loud snore.
The snoring Talandra, and she will come to the fire and sort of help herself to any food that might have slowly congealed and been left for the night, and tea, and looked at Calliope and Raz on the bench.
Good.
You're on that log. Why did I go towards the log which literally has nobody on it?
So unfortunately there is no currently edible food prepared, and the boiled pot of water has gotten cold and no tea.
Oh, Calliope dear, would you mind putting an extra pot of tea on? It's ever so chilly. And Esme sort of hugs herself and burrs.
The tone, I'm getting the very Ayla vibes, but I don't know you. The pot's over there. Fill it full of snow. Boil it. I have some tea for you.
She sort of smirks very well and sort of follows the instructions, making her own brew. But as she does so, she's going to scoop up some snow and make a snowball and wait until Calliope turns around before lobbing it at the back of her head.
Is there any way I could perceive this before she smacks me with snow?
With
Oh,
that 6
definitely.
perception, unfortunately not. I'm sorry. Esme, roll an attack for me. Dexterity attack as you lob a snowball.
It's
at the back of
no.
Juan's head.
Oh, it's on.
However, with that 6 perception roll, maybe you can actually hear, since you're starting to pay attention to your surroundings, me muttering under my breath, "White elk, here, guards, predators, magic."
Ramblings of a crazy man.
Roll.
Are you trance talking right now?
Yeah.
Exactly. We're talking.
Well, I mean, it just whoosh over her head. You're just a crazy person who maybe had smoked too much smoke.
Smoke too much smoke. As she's
Smoked
thinking
too
that,
much.
she's struck with a bit of powdery snow in the back of her head. It's her bun of blonde hair slightly damp as it drips down onto her plaited shoulder pad.
And in
Very
between
deftly, Esme will cup both of her hands around the mug as if to indicate how could I possibly throw anything with my hands so full of delicious tea that I myself prepared for me.
as much as I can turn in my plate armor or my armor, I look over and I eye you with. It's hard to say. It's kind of like Calliope eyeing a younger sister or a sibling starting an ice ball fight. And yes, I use this term ice ball. It's not snow, it's ice. And I gauge whether you're willing to go there. I mean, it is midnight. I did have a short rest, but I mean, I'm down to put an ice ball fight.
There's a bit of good powder beginning to build atop the brim of Raziel's hat. Snowfall has grown much heavier this past 2
Sorry, that was me.
Well, then,
I was taking my short rest.
I've been watching this, and if I'm not full, I haven't fallen asleep yet. So I've been a few
Yeah, how
minutes.
could you with all this going on?
I am sit. Don't you even dare. Everybody knows I love my 6 hours.
Esme sort of taps her chest with her fingers like, me? No. Wouldn't possibly be me. And as he's sort of trying to drift off, well, is there at least a report on the first watch? Anything we should be aware of? Werewolves, vampires, Vikings?
dragons, bats.
Exactly, there's so many options. and she stands as close to Raz as she can, sort of glowering down at him, like legs pressed against the side of the log.
Right. You want to be that part of the group? That much part of it? Well then, sure. Two major things stand out to me. One, listen out for the clock, the bell tower. Its tolling is, shall we say, untimely.
So, one of the things you noticed in the several hours you were away is how the bell was tolling.
Well, that could be important. Are they undermanned?
Just wait, ma'am.
Don't
Not
you
told you the
dare
rest
say
yet.
that.
For it seems that if Delandra wouldn't have stopped you, perhaps you could make it over that wall.
Oh, hey, stopped her. Who? You were planning to go over the wall? And I'm getting on my little paladin high mighty horse here.
Well, why wouldn't I?
'Cause
They
we're
are a
gonna-
hurdle. Is that not what we must do? Overcome hurdles?
They're people of a good town that we don't know any of, and that
How
we
do
could
you
try to
know
gain
they're
their.
good?
The thing is that these walls are immaculate. Look at them. And if you look closely at the top, there's only a few guards. The rest, scarecrows. What is
Esme.
behind these walls? I say we use this chance to kill two birds, one stone. And now if you're gonna make me go into my ramblings, I'll do it. I've been digging up there for 2 hours.
You really, honestly, truly do not have to go into any ramblings. No metaphors required. We do not need a story. I believe you, and you're right. And at that, Esme becomes quite serious as she scans the top of the wall. There are scarecrows. And she looks towards Calliope, and now she sort of takes on a more serious stance, as if one woman of action to another. You can't deny that this is bizarre. You've been here in Barovia too. This place, as Raziel said, it's immaculate. They don't let anyone in, and they don't let anyone out. Except for wine. And the wine is not that good, so I don't quite understand the fascination. Regardless, they're very protective. And if nothing can get in, what is so impossibly hard to get out? There's something in that.
I'm sure
Or
they're.
vice versa. What if they built a wall around for something not to get out?
What if we end up helping those that do not deserve it? You can't deny that you haven't been fooled at least once or twice in this place since you arrived. What if we become the fools this time? Let Razia and I, we can look. You can join us if you really must keep us on a leash.
I?
Wants to
I mean-
sleep.
Ma'am, you mistake me for something else.
What's this
Clunky. I would just raise nothing but alarm bells. Your conspiracies are just driving me up the wall. I do not agree. We're going to go find these wolves, find his son, and make peace with these people and investigate further. You are not going to scale these walls. You're not going to investigate further. Yes, the dummies are very weird. Very, very weird. Very suspicious, but it's a tactical move. I can understand. But we, and I eyeball both Esme and Raziel, are not going anywhere tonight. Good night, Raziel. My tent is available if you wish to have some sleep. Esme, I suggest you go back and do the same. And I with the most pious eyes I can, as I sit back very loudly on the stump and pull out my sword and put it between my knees as I stand a lookout. And this conversation didn't happen kind of eyeballs.
I pick it up from there. How about this? We'll do a compromise. Even with your back turning. I'm talking to you. But I'm eyeing. Esme, check this out. We're in a position right now. The best position. They need us. We don't necessarily know that we don't need them, but we can assume Either way, we're in a higher position. What if we go boom, do this mish, find the sun, or not, or find this dude who's supposedly tracking us and trying to kill us? They're obviously human, yes? Why are they tracking us? Find that information out first, then come back here and infiltrate quietly. It is their quest that they're asking. It doesn't mean that we can't infiltrate after we complete it. And then if we're caught infiltrating, well, hey, we were just in here trying to find, the captain. To ask him questions about what we found and maybe quietly come in and out so as not to disturb the rest of the town. Either way, we're in a good position right now to make the most out of our advantage. Let them be there for now.
I'm not going to argue. It's impossible with these squeaky clean, godly types around. Ugh. Do they ever stray from the path? Is
We
it
have a
ever not
conscience.
radiant? I have a conscience. Believe me. That's why I do what I do. But fine. We'll get this boy, and we'll be allowed in naturally. And then, you have no right to stop me from taking a closer look. In fact, I would encourage it. It
You're
could
right.
help.
I'll go with you.
If we are welcomed, by all means, snoop around, investigate. But at this time, we are just but strangers upon a village trying to protect themselves, and that is all that we can perceive for now. All we must do is a small task, which is an honorable task. Finding a young boy, bring him back, and if not...
A young boy that might already be dead.
I
For all
might
we
be
know.
dead,
It's not
but
confirmed.
we can... Yes,
I mean,
it
really
is.
We're bringing back a corpse, we're bringing back a child. Both are equally awful.
At this time, I huck a snowball that I have been quietly making from the ground, directly, hoping to hit Raziel, but any one of the three whispering pontificators.
With a 10?
No.
Wow, that was attack.
Was
don't-
that
Yeah, it's...
I don't know how. I think that might have just been something that was sitting in my I think I just
Okay,
pressed
okay.
up on accident on my
Alright,
chat.
roll your
Yeah.
attack?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, come hell or high water, Talandra, if you hit me. So
It's
so
okay.
I'll
It's
move it.
worse.
Or DM is like, oh, I love it when they
It's-
PvP.
It's 7 plus my dex, which is -1, so 6.
You're not certain who Delandra was aiming for, but it smacks Calliope directly.
Yes, yes. Oh, so happy. Oh.
As the snowball hits the side of my face, dripping down in between my armor and my tabard, I just stand up, just very
And
straight.
I've done my best to throw it and then try to curl back up in my cloak as if I'm still sleeping.
Oh no. There is no one else. There is no one else. I see Richard sleeping there as a snuggled bug in the rug in the freaking snow. I don't understand, but I know it's you. And Calliope looms over you. It's like,
I kind of crack one eye and kind of pretend like I have a little sleepy eyes. Calliope, dear, why are you covered in snow? But I can't seem to say the words without smiling.
and you just see Calliope just lose it. She now turns into a 12-year-old girl. It's like, we were having a serious conversation and I ball up a little bit of snow. It's not a ball, it's slush. And I smack her. Just dead on the face.
I'm
Seriously.
gonna just choke on it and fall over off my stump, kind of spitting snow.
Esme watches in pure delight. She's not even trying to disguise her wide-eyed amusement as she just daintily sips upon the little tin cup of tea that she had so thoughtfully prepared for only herself.
Mhm.
Well, I kind of wake up, not wake up. I kind of stand up and stretch and dust snow off myself. I couldn't hear the content, but I saw 3 little little, I don't know, some things. 3 little birds twittering about. And I could only imagine that some of you were up to no good, and some of you were trying to mediate the situation. And I'm sorry, Calliope, you are not who I was aiming for.
Obviously, I'm trying to mediate the situation. Go to bed in my nice warm tent. I can restock my warm water bottles. You've had nothing but a short rest. I need your spells because I am planning on needing your help here in the very near future, come near dawn. And
Seems like the roles have switched. Well, okay, Mother. And I kind of wrap back up in my cloak and sit back up on my stump. I promise, no more snowballs from me. And then I kind of lean over your shoulder towards Esme and Raziel. And no more plans from you. Go to bed, you fools.
Here, here.
And I kind of tuck back in.
As you
shove it up your
pull back that tent flap, Raziel, you're the first to sort of perk up, though you've begun to nestle down into the log, as you again hear the howls of wolves. What makes you perk up this time? They are noticeably closer. This time, the howls that answer back are also closer.
I'm tired. We don't have much time.
We don't. If that boy is still alive, he's not going to be much longer.
We have 2.
Rats.
We have... Okay. Somebody wake Richard. In the next hour, we will need him. I have heard the sounds of wolves getting closer and closer. It's why I find this wall so interesting, and why I agree we need to sink into it. But screw that for now. They are coming. These walls have not been breached yet. Those silly dummies won't do a damn thing, but at least potentially we can get their help if needed. Backs to backs. Let's be quiet. Perhaps even douse the fire.
If you try to wake Richard, don't use a snowball, I kind of say, out of my cloak. If you pay attention to our friend here, he doesn't even make breath. I kind of motion over to Richard's slowly swelling and lowering body, and that the fact that there's no foggy breath coming out of his mouth, like the rest of us.
Making jokes now, are we, Talandra? Of course.
No, I'm serious. Okay.
We are about to be sieged, and I know, I agree, that is why we need him. But let him rest. He might just need a little bit more. Just a little bit more energy. The rest of us, let's back up. And I nod to Erebus, and I have Erebus stealthily make his way.
Oh, where the doggy going? What the dog doing?
Doggy's gonna go right there.
Oh, man. All right.
And he's gonna try to meld into the shadow of this large, half broken down tree.
Okay. You can now recognize Raziel since you've been on watch for so long. As the Shadow Hound bounds off into the snow, because it's become almost a blizzard now in how heavy the snow has begun to fall. The mists have also grown much heavier as the Shadow Hound bounds off into the mists and where his master has directed him. Even before he melds with the shadows, he becomes somewhat obscured and difficult to see even before he reaches his destination, just 150 feet away or so. The mists are cold and freezing, and even in your heavy, warm weather clothing, clings to you and leaves a frost on fur trim.
I try to get the best sleep I can until... I try to take a power nap, a power cat nap. Just short rest as much as I can. I try to force myself to sleep.
As Raziel's doing that, I'm trying to urge Esme back into her tent to sleep. There is going to be no shenanigans tonight. and I wish to keep my watch now a little extra alert because I saw somebody's dander go up. And do I need to roll perception?
Absolutely. The first half hour of your watch or so was spent chatting and sort of getting warm, and
Shit.
with your original perception at 6, you did not see much, especially with these heavy mists. Mostly having things pointed out, by Raziel, the scarecrows on the wall, the loose guard, how fine the wall is compared to some of the ramshackle huts within, and the howls of the wolves coming from the northeast and having grown much closer over the past hour. You continue to hear the howls periodically, though it's hard to discern if they're growing closer. They seem to be circling, heading south, though not seeming to grow much closer, just circling around, heading down. And the howls and the returning howls seem to also be growing apart. Or perhaps it's
Well-
just another group. It's hard to tell.
I will let my company sleep. At this point, I don't see any threat, no danger. Especially with Raziel's abomination out there.
Out there,
Is it-
now hidden, invisible. Almost more
Oh,
eerie not seeing it.
I just saw drifts of snow just cater off to a side, assuming that's his hellhound, as I'm gonna presumably call it from now on.
A strange mound of snow that wasn't there prior. I like that. Alright. With the rest of the party slipping into some sort of sleep, or at least what rest they can get, Esme, were you stuffed into a tent for rest, or do you do something else?
No, she's sort of plopped herself down to lean against the walls, and she's just sort of sitting there. But she's watching, she's waiting, she's not trying to scramble up.
Okay. The guards...
It's an island thing.
You watch as the guards cast a glance down towards you, but after sort of observing you just leaning on the wall and seemingly being benign, you watch as some of their torchlight leaves the area, heading along their patrols along the length of the wall. And you can sort of see this periodically along the length of the wall, that orange-amber glow from the torchlights of the actual guards moving and patrolling along the wall, feeding the braziers either oil or wood, whatever fuel they have available to them. And Esme
It just sits there pouting.
sits there pouting. The mists continue to grow heavier and seemingly falling silent, while howls for the past hour have disappeared. It's hard to now even make out the shapes of the trees through the heavy mist, the falling snow, even though they're just 100 feet away. And much of the field, though clear of any trees or stumps, is now difficult to see more than 10 or 20 feet ahead of you to make any sort of detail out. So not only is it dark and snowing, there's this obscuring, freezing mist surrounding your camp. Your orange firelight is shimmering and casting a glow into that heavy mist.
What time is it?
It is,
In-game?
it is now 2. You're about 2 hours into your trance, since you went into your trance when Raziel had returned from his watch. Calliope,
Yes.
it would be the end of your watch.
All right. Well then, I shake off a little snow from my shoulders, bring out my sword a little bit, stand maybe for 2 or 3 minutes against the fire to warm myself, and then, without ceremony, just typical soldier on soldier. Just Richard. And I try to rouse him.
Are you there, Richard?
Nice.
Richard! Come on, soldier.
Caleb said in chat he was running the bathroom. That was like 2 minutes ago, so he's probably going to be back in music.
Okay, well, Calliope rouses him with a boot kick to his ankle and says, Richard, it's your turn. And Calliope dutifully has filled her water bottles back up and will sleep or stand towards the tent cozily, waiting for him to take the watch. I'm still. Can I take another perception check? I just want to peer before I go into my tent the situation.
All right. Roll me one last perception check before you slip into your tent. Your steaming hot water that you've pulled from the fireside. Calliope, peering out into the misty field, you begin to see shapes, long-armed and long-legged. They were obscured by the mist, but you see them now. The shapes of lycanthropes.
Oh my god.
Oh, shit. Dropping the water bottles, I just yell across the fire, Talandra, wake up! Enemies! Sunny! Raziel! Richard! And I back kick Richard a little bit because I assume I'm kind of close to him-ish to back kick him. Up!
So Sunny is already up and standing. I've been listening to all of these conversations, and you see next to me, standing in like ninja pose, one arm out, one arm back, small, stout, badass mushroom buddy.
All right.
Oh boy.
Recognizing they have been seen in the mists, the wolves, the lycanthropes, let out a howl that rings across the valley and echoes up into the mountains, and wakes all those still resting within their tents,
I kind
revealing
of get
themselves within the mists.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
get up with a start, flipping my cloak back and ready, almost like ready to go. I was waiting for this.
And
Knew
yeah,
you would.
sorry.
No, go.
No, you finish.
No, I was just gonna say something stupid. That's why.
No, you
I'm
didn't.
picturing.
You didn't.
No, it was literally gonna be a joke.
Has it been 8 hours yet?
Yeah.
Huh?
With Calliope.
No, it's only been 4.
Yeah.
That's not long enough.
You're right, it's not. You've gotten a short rest so far.
And Calliope has kicked your ankles really hard to get up.
Mhm.
I know. I'm hurting too, dude.
Same here. But no rest for the wicked here.
Righty.
Would you rather be dog meat?
Richard reaches for his weapon from a sitting position with his legs outstretched.
Okay, so this is where we're going to take a break for now, but we're going to roll initiative and get combat all set up, and then we will return.
Let's do this. I'm ready. I'm pumped.
Maybe not
I'm
that
hyped.
one.
I'll give people time for their tea and their smokes.
God, chill out, Jared!
I can't.
God!
He cannot contain
Justice and vengeance are,
Oh my
are
god.
exactly. Thank you.
This guy.
You gotta
That
think
was
about
Esme
it
coming
like a
through.
game
I
of
love
Dragon's Chess. Raziel.
Exactly.
No.
Oh, does
God.
Dragon's
If he
chest.
says dragon,
I'm making
I don't
moves.
think Esme's gonna be okay. She's gonna go into like this frozen, like twitching.
She
eye,
already
wait.
interrupted like the future Raziel's by that nut shot. So I think that Raziel has now
Hey.
learned to maybe choose his words.
No, my
nuts are fine. Okay,
are on fire.
my semen is totally viable and fine.
It's on
What the
fire.
heck, man?
It's on fire.
Fire.
It's got like a devil in it, dude. Like you don't even know.
Got a devil in your semen? What?
Yeah.
What?
Don't we all?
I mean,
There we
isn't
go.
that really the curse of man?
Yes,
Oh my
devil in my
god.
semen.
Is
There
the
we
devil
go.
in our semen?
I'm a total personification.
I think Jolie's
End of story.
dying.
That's why, again, he goes man mode. Justice! Come on, let's do
He
it.
That just like the
goes man
testosterone,
mode.
like, just cannot contain the testosterone. Justice! There's demon in my semen.
There's a demon in my semen. Esme, shoot this one.
Why does it have to
Exactly.
rhyme too?
Demon.
Oh,
Yeah.
That sounds
brings
like
back
a
memories.
that sounds like something out of that sounds like
That's-
something out of like
those are
James Silent
basically-
Bob, like the
Those are
shit
basically
demon.
those are basically my chaos bolts. They're semen demons.
Those are basically chaos bolts. Yeah,
Basically
true.
what those
True.
are.
We're not alive here.
So is that right, Jared? That's basically what those
Watch out, girl!
are.
Watch out for my chaos bolt.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. And the funny thing is,
we're
if I
killing
roll
Jolene here. We're
correctly,
slaying
if
her right now.
I roll it correctly, it goes on to another like person that's close by, another enemy that's
Oh
close
my
by. That's
god!
like in multiple generations. Let's do this. I'm into
Oh
it.
my god!
Dying. Dead. He killed the paladin.
You have no
He
idea.
killed the paladin.
Sonny has no idea. I'm about to throw him, and hopefully he doesn't go into the fire. You better have your shit up.
I had no
because
idea where
I'm
you were going
to
with that sentence.
Throw this motherfucker behind me, and I'm about to go ham.
You
Who's
okay?
getting thrown behind?
Raziel is for sure gonna end up in like an institution at the end of this campaign. like if we ever do like a tie-in campaign, we're gonna find Raziel in like a padded room.
Like the asylum in Waterdeep.
It-
He's just in there like Joker style, and he's got like
After
Strahd.
he saved
full-
Barovia, he just like talks all day about a land that he saved that
Yeah.
nobody knows
We-
about.
Inside
We-
here, we have the.
Here's the great thing.
Raziel.
That's actually not what's happening. Somebody's in my
That's
place,
actually
and
not
I'm
what's
actually
happening.
out in
Wait.
the
I'm not
in
crazy.
Barovia still as like this Dark Knight that
We-
saves the day.
We
Go ahead,
zoom
Shane.
in to Raziel's white eyes, so close until the screen is fully white, and then we zoom back out, and it turns into the whites of Raziel's real human eyes, and it zooms further out, and we're just in the offices of Dr. Strahd von Zarovich, his fucking psychiatrist.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
And he's
That
got these
is
little
My
figures like
nightmare.
Richard is this blue sock, and Calliope is just like
No, he's the
And-
janitor.
Yeah.
This is the janitor that
Run
comes
that
in
by
and
me
cleans
again.
every
He's holding a
2
big
days.
mop. He's like, "What's wrong?" Fucking, it's just replaces his fucking halberd and his mind.
Exactly.
on
You
the,
see,
on
this
the
is
edge
you.
of a wooden broom handle.
he
It's
just
Water
leans
bucket
on it.
is the horse.
in it.
Talandra's the
Cleaning up
sweet orderly. Talandra's the sweet but stern orderly that helps take care of him.
Yeah.
So he doesn't
no.
put crayons in his mouth.
I comes and reads some stories as an
Yeah.
afternoon
Stop me.
volunteer here and there.
Sonny is just another patient for sure.
He's my best friend,
Oh,
and I don't
shit.
know it.
That's why they got along so
Starting
well
into
at
12
first.
monkeys.
It is, yeah. It's Shutter Island / 12 Monkeys.
I love it.
That's good. Hold on while I
we-
just get rid of that ending.
Are we
Esme
we
needs
ready?
to go up.
I don't think so.
Either above or below that white wolf that's over there. It's not as handsome as the other one. That's
Don't
like.
you tell me what to do. Esme,
Well, no,
Excuse me.
I'm
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
telling. I'm saying. I'm putting you into initiative wise. Either you go over to this other one that's kind of
Oh.
handsome, but not
bad.
as handsome as one. You know.
now I feel like
that.
an asshole.
I want you to
What?
be better. And then also, Sunny's a 10.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Sunny is a 10.
A 10.
Oh.
like attractive wise?
Well, yeah.
No.
I mean, I thought like maybe he like illusioned himself to look like a tent out of fear. Like that was just as plausible to me.
Oh,
as
yeah, and,
rolling
I
a
thought-
10.
it's like- and Sonny's a 10, you know? He's got,
He's
big
super
dick
hot.
energy.
And that beard is luscious. Like,
Super
obviously.
fuckable.
It is. It is a luscious beard.
SFW. Super.
Good up there, because I'm gonna write. I wanna start just.
Can I prestidigitate some extra? Never mind.
No, you can't, dude.
Never mind.
No, please no.
You can't do shit. You got your little buddy there. I'm about to throw you. That little guy better be on your shoulder. I'm throwing that mother in you.
If
Oh, God.
If Raphael is under the illusion that he's going to be able to lift and throw Sunny, and Sunny is going to allow that to happen, I don't think he knows Sunny.
You
Well, I
sure?
go before you. I'm just gonna shove you out of the way. It's a little bit different.
Okay,
Alright.
but, I mean,
But it's gonna be like I love you, get behind me type of thing. Get behind me.
I love you. Get behind me.
But, like,
Gross.
how would that work mechanically? Actually, if one of my party members attempted to do something against
Grapple.
my will, would I get the
Grapple.
would I be able to-
Well, it's PvP
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah, yeah. It would be his athletics versus your athletics or acrobatics, and then he'd be able to move you 5 feet if he won.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't have an ability to cast a spell before he grabs me.
No,
You
I'm not
could-
spelling you. I'm
you
just-
could
If it was a
use-
reaction,
You could use a reaction like a Misty Step or something technically, because it's an attack,
That's
so you
right,
could
yeah.
react to the attack by Misty Stepping.
Okay, that's
Yep,
what I meant.
yep.
Yes, that's
Like
I
in
figured.
regular combat.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
like a
it's
regular
perfect.
combat attack.
it
Like,
just becomes
If someone threw the
possession of combat.
snowball at you, you could react to it with a Misty Step or a shield or whatever the fuck. Yeah,
I have a mechanical question.
by all means.
So, with the ranged weapons, with the crossbow, it has the range of 30 to 120 foot. Above or below that is at disadvantage.
Correct.
At 30 foot, is it at advantage, or does it have to be 30 foot and below, or below 30 foot? What
So
is
this
the
is-
wording on that?
This is my understanding, and I can look it up again real quick. But
I think it's 30.
I tried
feet.
to, but I wasn't 100% sure. I just
Okay.
wanted to make sure we.
anything beyond 120 is fired at a disadvantage to hit.
Uh-huh.
Anything closer than 30 feet, you no longer get your dexterity modifier to the attack. Now look that up real quick, but
So I think to her question, I think.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Exactly 30 feet is tie goes to the defender or not. If it's exactly 30 feet and she's shooting.
I think you would be
Ty
it would be
always
regular range. So
Yeah.
you'd just be firing now at 29 feet or
Huh?
29 and a half feet. You wouldn't get your dex. But
Yeah.
at 30
Below
feet, you
30
would.
foot, not 30
Yeah.
foot below. Got it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
30 foot is fine.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I think it's inclusive, 30 to 120. So at 120 would be the same.
And with the winds blowing how they are in the blizzard, anything beyond 30 feet at the moment is a disadvantage with a range shot. Range is going to be difficult in this weather.
Oh shit.
That's javelins, arrows, crossbow bolts, anything thrown. Just to preface that, people who are experiencing combat and can feel this current weather and these heavy winds and this almost blizzard around them would just know it's going to be difficult to hit anything with a ranged shot in this.
Oh, fuck.
30 foot is fine.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. Wunderbar.
Yes, yes. You can circumvent that if you use steady aim
Yeah, or sneak.
or sneak.
Like not
Yeah.
sneak and pop your head out. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of what I did with her at the tent. There is at the sort of approach of the woofits. She has
can also
taken herself behind the tent and she's like peering around the edge and
You could
bolting a silver. No, because she made the wolfsbane and she put one on her 5 crossbow bolts. She has put one of those ready in it.
Okay. Do you remember what that wolfsbane does?
It does an amount of damage.
I think it's 1d8 extra.
I think you said D8
Yeah. And we'll call
on
it
top of its normal damage if
I'm
it's to
gonna-
a werewolf.
call it. It's just gonna be. I'm trying to think of what sort of damage type it is. Not a. It matters a lot. Don't want to call it acid damage or force damage. What would this be?
Lichen damage.
Lichen damage. That's
Moon
cute.
poison.
Moon poison.
Poison. I like
Nope.
that.
Arcane, or just magical
Should name
damage.
like a
Technically,
like
that
a
would be
hippie name.
force damage.
It's a hippie name for a girl at a festival.
I thought,
My name's
my name-
Moon Poison.
My name is Moon Poison.
I thought magical. I thought that magical
Getting
damage thing,
fentanyl, she's,
was
like,
just
asking
for
thinking
a
beyond
drug.
resistances.
Can back to the game, please?
What's that? Are we ready to play? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just answering mechanical questions. And getting ready for
Yeah,
combat.
and-
Did everyone roll
and
their
I-
initiatives?
Yes. It looks like
Sweet.
everybody's on there. Just
If we
like I
just
said,
need
Esme
Calliope's.
and... Oh, yeah. I don't
Oh
see-
wait, no, I see she rolled. I just don't see her token on there. Hold on, I'll add her.
Was on there. I'm right at the bottom. I'm under Richard.
Oh,
I'm
I meant
between Richard and
Calliope.
Sunny.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Oh.
I rolled a
Yeah.
17.
No way, I'm not last.
not
Yeah,
quite.
me
No,
neither.
you are
Me and you and me,
last.
Richard, me and you were actually up a little higher this time for once.
I'm 4. No, I'm last. I have a
he's
4.
last.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
no, I was like, that's why I was surprised. I have a 4.
Kinda,
I
How do you-
actually,
How did-
I'm
how
not
did I beat
last
you
for
before?
once. As-
Yeah.
Raziel's kind of upset.
Well, I'm on
It's
my
okay.
ass on the ground, reaching for my weapons sleepily after getting
And-
kicked.
As a giant other paladin just kind of squishes you to get you up and running for the horses. So you definitely got kicked there, sir.
Being kicked.
The women are just kicking the men of this party.
Yeah, we got a lot of domineering women.
All right,
Do I get any of my spell slots back or no? Because I was interrupted.
correct. You
Oh,
only
good.
got a short rest.
Because he was interrupted, folks.
Yep. It's true.
All right.
Hate getting interrupted.
So moving through the mists, Calliope sees the lycanthropes just as she's about to step into her tent, and they are closing in, circling around your encampment.
Okay, well, like I said, I threw off my cloak, and I have my shield out, my spell hand ready, my pimp hand strong.
All right. The mists seem to dance and swirl around the shadowed figures as, stepping further towards your camp, you see something seemingly projecting the mists from the center of an especially heavy, obscuring section of frozen, cold, rolling mists that at first you had noticed seemingly moving from the forests, but now that it's grown closer, you recognize there's something supernatural about this. Leaping from another fog embankment that has rolled from the mists, one of the howling lycanthropes comes leaping forward and crashes into who was a moment before trancing Sunny. And the fury of his claws comes swiping down towards you almost
Jesus.
immediately. For 6 and 5. So, leaping from the mists at what must have been, I guess, a difficult target, the werewolf misses most of its swipes as they go wide, clawing through the mantle of the skinny Sunny. Where's the meat? We get to the next werewolf, who instead of running towards Sunny, it sees other prey just beyond the flames. It runs through your camp, kicking over the boiling water, and it goes sputtering into the flames. And it reaches the first of the paladins, the one that had noticed them in the mists. There you are. I'll drink your blood, girl. And the werewolf goes to sink its fangs into you while raking down with both claws. So there's a bite followed by 2 claw slashes. Where's my bite? The bite, 22, it lands for 7 damage, and I'm going to need you to roll me a Constitution save. The claws, I got a 14 and a 7. And I don't
It doesn't hit.
Nice.
Yep.
And your Constitution saves you. That familiar burning sensation ebbs and leaves.
So do a little shove as I can, as much as I can.
Pushing that lycanthrope back off of you. it skids into the fresh snow. Even though it's right in front of you, the mists and the snow obscure its shape. Raziel, brings us to you, sir.
Raziel sat up in a motion so fluid it looked practiced, as if he was waiting for this moment. Hold the line! Vengeance and justice are at hand. Beasts so foul shall be felled by our hands. And I go to motion/move Sunny behind me. Here. With his acorn buddy. If he will allow me, if not, I'm not gonna actually do an action. I'm just gonna try to if he's willing, motion him behind me.
Sunny gracefully steps back. The momentum, after having just been missed by the swiping claws of the vampire, but not without looking into werewolf, not without looking into its eyes and letting out a little bit of a scared, nervous chuckle.
Alright, that's going to use one of your attack actions. If you have two, then you're good, but if you don't, that's going to be your action.
I do.
Nice.
Have
I thought you
two.
had two. You did.
And I will move up and sink my blade, or attempt to, into this beast's chest.
Alright. Still reeling from both of its claw attacks against Sunny the Wizard, it's left its chest wide open. Your attack drives itself directly into that wide open chest. But roll your damage. Alright. Delivering 12 slashing damage with that magic shadow blade of yours, Raziel. You see that hot blood splatter into the snow, adding steam to the mist.
Feeling the fury of fire and justice, vengeance within me, I call out, "Come to me, beasts, if you seek challenge." And as a bonus action, I will cast Spirit Shroud. And thinking of the Mardikovs, I think of Dag once again. For he shall be the vanguard of my vengeance. And I create a thing around me. Let's see. The spell ends. Any attack. Okay, so any attack and anything that is within 10 feet has reduced speed of 10 feet. So I'm not casting this as an action because I've already attacked.
Yeah.
So it's just this flowing, almost like raven type of shroud that's around me. Maybe a little bit of gold in the center, but the outline is black.
And what are you bringing about? What are you summoning here?
The spirit of Dag.
Spirit of
Once
Dag.
again.
Is it that specter?
No, it's Spirit Shroud. So what it does is it adds extra attack on or extra damage onto my attacks, but it has a 10-foot radius, and anything within 10 feet of me has its speed reduced of 10 feet.
That's right, that's right. Let me put an aura on you then. Oh, it's the wrong window. Sorry. I gotta get used to having a player window and a dungeon master window. Alright, just
I'm
grabbing
gonna
a token from
try to
another
cast this, but I'm scared that it'll cast the actual spell, which does damage. I don't want to do that.
Are you able to see that aura?
Yes.
Nice.
Perfect.
Alright. A dancing spirit swirls around within that 10-foot radius.
I end my turn,
Alright.
holding back this beast.
Calliope. This hungering werewolf leaping from the mists, bitten into you but has missed both of its claws. Your fellow paladin stirred. Combat. What do you do with your turn?
As Richard is waking up to just this cacophony of action, and he's probably slipping out of his bedroll, he sees me pull out my sun sword, and I want to do an upward slash towards this abomination.
All right.
Oh, shoot! That
What's wrong? No, that was perfect. Doesn't get much better than that. All right, the 28 definitely lands. As that sun sword just leaps to life, a smaller shard sliver of the sunlight Talandra had summoned the day before, now held in the grasp of Calliope and wielded as a blade, delivers 16 radiant slashing into the black fur of this half-human, half-wolf hybrid creature before you. And there's a sizzle and the smell of wretched dog fur burning. And a howl is let out from the creature before you. Pained, sizzled burn is left stroke across its chest and shoulder.
Emboldened by the effectiveness of the attack, I wish to now take a downward slash and try to push it back.
All right. The 20 lands again. And do you want to put a thunderous smite on this one in order to knock it backwards?
Oh yes, sorry. Yes.
You're all good. Okay. I figured that's what you wanted.
Sorry,
Okay.
with the pushback, I just assumed.
It's all good. So, let me roll its strength check and we'll see if it gets knocked backwards.
Thunder and crackling energy. This beast.
All right. The beast does not succeed on the strength check, so it is knocked back 10 feet. And since the fire is 10 feet behind it, not only is it burned twice by the two lashing strikes of the sun blade in Calliope's hands, but a thunderous ringing echoes out as it's thundered backwards, and embers and split logs go spilling into the snow. Again, more steam rising up into the mists. As the creature howls in pain on its back, writhing in the flames.
Nice. Unfortunately, that would be the end of my turn.
Well, fortunately for the werewolves. Alright. Bring this guy to the front. Take off all that damage he did. 9 plus 14, that's 23. Plus 16, that's 39 damage.
Jesus.
Very good. Alright. Whose turn is it? Alright, that brings us to more werewolves. As this one... Ooh, they were circling the camp. Continues to circle. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Comes up just short. Did it see Esme? It just notices her as it comes around the tent. And that's where that one's turn ends. Can't quite reach her. 15. Right, this one comes thundering through the mists as well.
Does that mean my readying action of stealth doesn't work?
It hasn't been your turn yet, so you haven't been able to ready an action.
Oh, I thought we got a pre-turn because those of us that noticed them coming had a little time to sort of prepare. Okay.
No, quite the opposite. You were so startled and unprepared because they were right on top of your camp that they almost got to act before you guys did.
Okay.
And it's only because Calliope noticed them right at the end that they didn't know he could have turned before you all did.
Just the soldier's check before going to bed.
So, very, very
Sure,
close.
whatever you say.
Okay. Alrighty then. Talandra, you're attacked by a werewolf. 2 claws and a bite.
I raise my shield up, kind of put it over my shoulder. I want to kind of try to shove him off as well.
Alright. The first claw is a 15. Does that land?
15, it does not land.
Alright, then none of the attacks land as you fend off both the bite and both claws.
Just using my shield of Baranar, just deflecting these claws back and forth as they're hitting me.
Almost having brought up just in time as it comes around to your turn.
Okay, from behind my shield. Alrighty. I turn to Richard and Calliope. Both of you, spread out through the back. One go one way, one go through the other. We can try to flank them from behind. I'm guessing there's more hiding in these mists. And I gotta say that from like behind my shield.
Hear an echo of "For justice."
Of course I do. I was not only hear it, I was listening for it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just summon my spiritual weapon, bring up my hammer, or just my hand really, because I want to keep an open casting hand. I bring up my spiritual weapon, and I kind of rain it down, like from on high, straight down, like the hammerhead, going straight with the handle up, just boonk, like Thor's hammer, straight down on this wolfy head.
All right.
Here we go.
The hammer drops.
23.
23 hits. Roll that damage.
6 force damage.
6 force damage is received. The wolf
And
howls
then-
in a pain.
And then I would like to use my action to like follow that up. Now that he's injured, I kind of do like a 1-2 as soon as he's hit. I kind of bring my casting hand forward, and again, there's the chime, like soft church bells that begin to like resonate into like a hard, piercing screech in his ears as I cast Toll of the Dead. And since he is injured, it will do more damage.
More damage. Okay.
Okay, it's a DC 15 Wisdom save.
All right. He does not succeed.
So he takes 14 points of necrotic damage
All
as
right.
these bells pierce into his mind.
Beautiful.
And then I look for Esme.
The wounds received are worsened. You see her on the other side of the tent.
Okay. And like for like almost a moment, I thought I saw Isla. That's why I like looked around. But it's just another live companion. And I focus back on the wolf. I end my turn.
Right. A howl follows your cry for justice. As running through the mists, another werewolf appears and crashes into you, Raziel. Claws and fangs come gnashing your direction. A bite for 9, a claw for 5, and another claw for 13.
All of those miss.
All right. Almost like berserkers running through a Norse winter, they appear and swing wild bloodlust. You're quick and you were waiting. The duck, dodge, and step back. You avoid the bites and the claws of this beast.
As I step back, I bring both my hands forward into an X across my chest, and then burst back forward and cast Hellish Rebuke.
He's got to do damage for you to do that. Yeah. He didn't land any hits.
I think. Oh yeah, you're right. Right. Yeah, Hellish Rebuke.
Okay.
Damn it.
Okay. I know. I'm thinking
Come on,
about
man.
this. I know you wanted it. You'll get it. I promise. They'll hit soon. Okay. That brings us to Sunny. It's your turn, sir. The werewolves are appearing from the mists, almost as if you're still within a dream, though it's quickly becoming a nightmare. As you see, there's wolves behind you, wolves in front of you. One is howling as it sizzles and burns in your fire. Smoke and steam rises around you as the fire has been sputtered and sent spilling into embers and broken pieces of burning wood. What do you do? You're muted. Oh, no, you're okay. You're okay.
I'm role playing Sunny right now.
Nice. Oh shit, lights his fucking half-lit herbal cigarette.
Right.
Right.
Real quick, I found this table, but I'm not exactly sure how to read it on how many spell slots I get back after a short rest. Seems like there's all this math involved.
Wizards, I think, can do something special during their short rest. Wizards.
Yeah, wizards have
rest.
they have an ability that allows them to regain spell slots. I don't know what they have to expend though.
Let's
Yeah, I really don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
it is
arcane
something.
recovery. You have learned to regain
Yeah,
some
it's
of your
not
magical
quite
energy. Once per day, when you
for-
finish a short rest, you can choose expended spell slots to recover. The spell slots can have a combined level that is equal to or less than half your wizard level rounded up. So
I wasn't sure how to so 4 spell slots.
Exactly. No. 4 levels worth of spell slots. So that could be 4 level 1s. That could be 2 level 2s. That could be 1 level 3 and 1 level 1.
Or
That
one
one
level
level 4.
Or 1 level 4, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. If you want to take a moment to choose what spell slots you want to recover.
Yeah, give me a
that's
quick
fine.
second here.
I'm
Just
going to
how
run
it.
to the restroom, so no problem.
Alrighty.
No problem.
And why the DM is gone. Question: isn't an action to mount a horse or?
Probably, yeah.
It is. It is.
Or
It's
I think it might be.
I think it's part
It
of
might
your
be
movement.
part of your movement. Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of your movement. So if you mount a horse, that'd probably be 5 feet. So if you were to say where you are now, it would take. You would minus 5 feet off of your actual movement, but then what I'm still questioning is, then how does that transfer to the movement of
The
a
horse.
horse?
Then you
Yeah.
would
So
minus
that
5
minus
feet
5 feet from the horse.
from
so
the total
most
movement
horses-
that you have left.
Okay, so that would be 60 feet. So you would
Before
probably
we
have
get
55
too
feet.
far,
I thought you were going PD.
I peed super fast and I ran back because they were saying wrong things.
Oh, poop.
It's okay.
Oh, poop.
Mounting takes half of your movement speed.
There you go.
Oh, shit. Okay.
We weren't wrong. We were just kind of wrong.
No, you're right.
But then what? How does
didn't
it
wanna get too far
translate
down
to
the
the
road.
amount of the horse?
Okay,
Is
so
it anything?
half her movement speed is 15, and then once she gets on the horse, it would still be half of the remaining of the horses. So she
30
would
feet.
have 20 because the horse moves 40 feet instead of 30.
Okay.
I thought it was 60 feet.
Let me look up draft horse. I think it's
Oh,
40.
that horse.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because well, is damsel a draft?
Damsel is
well,
a
I-
riding horse, technically.
I would never take damsel. I would not want
you're talking
Richard on
about-
my
yeah,
butt.
yep,
Yeah,
yep,
I'm
yeah.
talking about Rocky. If I took
Rocky's like a pulling
Rocky.
horse.
Yeah, Rocky is like a Clydesdale, like a big, hefty boy. He's like a farm horse.
He's pulled plows his whole life.
Yeah, he's a, yeah.
And not carried soldiers into battle with werewolves. I'm surprised he hasn't like bucked you off and ran away.
He's a beast.
So I have regained my spell slot.
Okay, nice.
It's a secret.
You're a
which-
spell slut.
It's a secret.
Nice.
Yes, yes.
Spell sluts. That's our new group name. Cannot
Yeah.
change. Spell slut.
Spell
slots.
It was Jeff.
How
Nothing.
marketable.
It's happening.
Just don't
How
come in
marketable.
and make a logo about it.
I think Vox Machina had a different name a lot like that before they had to change it to Vox Machina. I think it was
Sluts.
something like that.
With
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
damn.
it's Skylar's turn. Hold on, let him take his turn.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I am swiped at by one werewolf. Raziel pushes me behind him as another werewolf comes in. And I'm trying to picture this in motion. Essentially, whoa,
Yeah.
the whole battle.
That
map just went
werewolf
black.
is going after Talandra.
Refresh your
Right.
page. It's the animations. They do that sometimes.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm surrounded by werewolves, and Sunny with a grace and elegance that he's been displaying more and more in situations of combat. Simply, I'm just scrolling back down on my laptop,
Roll that bitch.
and I'm just gonna Misty Step right on out of there.
All right. Okay, so like almost in a fluid motion as he's like stepping out
Exactly.
of his claws.
With a
that
grace and
swept through.
elegance, Sonny
Yeah.
runs away. Like,
He just like
That-
mists into the
That's
mist.
exactly why I
Okay.
only did that
love
motion
it.
to like I didn't want to like push him back there, but I wanted to like
I wanted
do
to
this.
shove him.
Yeah,
face
so like
first.
picture. Okay,
I
here's
push
the
him
thing.
back. Run, you wrong
Here's
child.
the thing.
We know you're a
Here's the
coward.
thing.
Okay, hold on. Let him talk.
God damn it, shut
Sorry.
the fuck up. He
Sorry.
pushes him back, and as Sunny is like stepping back, the momentum backwards, it's just like zoop, and he just like disappears out of sight. Like he doesn't even land his back foot, you know what I mean, to stop his momentum. He just like falls backwards from Raz's push, and then just zoop, and he's gone. A little
Nice.
poof of smoke. And I'll just move myself just way over here, back to like, hiding, like, I don't know, behind Damsel. Seems like a good place. Behind the horses. Seems like a good place.
Came out for a minute.
Yeah. And then but then you see Sunny disappear, and then down below, crouched, poised, ready to go, Mushroom Buddy. And Mushroom Buddy actually speaks up. He's got a little squeaky voice. He goes, "I fight like the wind." And he starts swinging his little arms, but they're way too little to actually punch anything, really. So he's just kind of swinging at the air and getting frustrated. And then he gets a little determined look on his face, and he looks at Raz and he goes, "For justice!" And the little pores on his head open up, and now that little smoke gas becomes much thicker and much more noxious. Strong smell, even for those who just are within, range of smelling it. But for every adjacent creature, you know what? He's gonna move, so I can get one more adjacent here. Yeah, there. They each. Let me pull up the spell description. I believe it's 1d4 plus. Yes, 1d4 plus 1 poison damage if they fail a Constitution save 13.
Okay.
So not a huge amount of damage, but
It's not, but
But
it's
not bad
each
for free.
round they stay in it. So
right. Okay.
That's pretty nice. Okay, so that means the players as well, however, as a poisonous cloud begins to fill the area around you.
Okay, so that'll hit. It's within It's within. Oh my god. Trackpads.
Oh.
It's only adjacent, so Talandra won't get hit with it. Only the 2 vampires and Raz, the 2 werewolves. Jesus
Okay.
Christ!
I thought it was 10 feet.
It says adjacent in the
Okay.
odd ones are both 10 feet. This one
Okay.
says adjacent.
Ooh, okay. Okay. So it's just Raziel and the 2 werewolves. Gotcha. Okay, Raz, if you would not mind, roll me a Constitution saving throw. Even if you do mind, Raz, I need you to roll me a Constitution.
As this buddy approaches, Raziel makes a laugh. Of course. And he attempts to steal himself.
Little buddy just like forcing it out. All right, one of the werewolves makes the save, the other one doesn't, as it just seems to take a deep inhale through its nostrils, and the second it exhales, just splurts of blood as it begins to cough up the poisonous spores that are flowing from the mushroom cap of mushroom. And you can all hear.
Somebody folds his arms with a satisfied look on his face.
Go ahead and roll that 1d4 plus 1.
Oh yes.
Does my 12 make it?
I don't know. 5. Nice.
Full damage.
What's the constitution on that? It's the saving
13.
throw? 13? You did not,
Oh,
Raz,
boy.
I'm sorry.
Oh shit. Oops. Well, double-edged sword, that one. I can't really move him too far because otherwise he'd be disengaging. So
It's true. All right, that's 5 points of poison damage for you as well, Raz.
Once again.
Technically, it's not narcotic, although narcotic damage from that makes sense too. And necrotic. It's like
That's what we're calling it from now on.
it's narcotic
Sorry.
damage.
That is the damage type from now on. It's narcotic damage.
This is why we got a war on drugs. Drugs kill
That is
people.
amazing.
Narcotic damage. Fuck me. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Sunny? I don't think so, right?
We're gonna go.
I'm gonna go with Nahi's.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's
All
go.
right.
Yeah.
The party watches as one of the heavier fogs of mist begins to disperse into the winds of the blizzard, revealing within a white-furred lycanthrope. Her fur coat is pure and untouched, other than deep, rutted marks that run across her arms, shoulders, and chest from what appear to be deep lacerations. She reaches up to her chest and draws her claws hard on fresh flesh, drawing blood. And you watch as she flicks her claws onto the ground, and you hear in a guttural, feminine voice, "Night, Mother, I pray to you. Grant us a hunt, a boon, our praise before us. Come, drink their blood." And from her blood, as it splatters across the ground, you watch steam beginning to rise up from the melting snow, and replacing the snow, quickly growing and blossoming across the snowy field, are deep crimson red roses. As soon as I get the map to do.
Come reap what you sow.
And Raziel,
death.
Talandra, Esme, you see the whites of the eyes of the werewolves before you begin to take on a deep crimson glow, almost as if something is bleeding over the whites. And their bodies begin to bulk and shake and shiver, and they begin to steam in the cold air. Something begins to take over within them. And that primal energy you had seen within these werewolves before, that bestial hunt, that instinct to kill, seems to have risen to its peak as pollen and fragrance from the roses begins to fill the air and dance with the snow and the blizzard. Esme, it's your turn.
What's the range on the wolfsbane if thrown?
If you take like the bolt out and throw it?
No.
Oh.
She made 4 tinctures. Well, she made 4 wolfsbane. She used 2 on her weapons and had 2 remaining.
Okay. You kind of want to throw it like a flask.
Well, I either I'm going to use my sword on this guy, but if the range is good, then I will throw it. I just can't remember the range.
So if you want to throw something, I think the range is up to 30 feet. So it's like an improvised throwing weapon.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll just use your.
I mean, like
dex on it.
I think I'm using the wrong term. Like area of effect. Like, is it?
Oh, it's like a single target hit.
Oh.
If
I
you're-
will stab this guy instead.
Okay. Are you stabbing him? What are you stabbing him?
With the rapier. So she had her bolts and rapier treated with half of the wolfsbane and kept the other 2
Okay.
sort of as is, because they can be thrown and I think they can be used to stave off lycanthropy. That was discussed.
I think they just do damage. I think they're just like a damage.
Yeah, I think that was something before that I was reading that we weren't going to apply to this.
Yeah, because it was like lethal to lycanthrope instantly.
Yeah, no, I thought that we removed the lethality to have like the dice damage, but kept that they could stave off lycanthropy, but it doesn't matter. I'll just stab this guy. How does steady aim work? I can't move, right?
Correct. So you can't have moved on your turn.
Oh, I can't use that then. So I don't get that. Does 13 hit?
A 13 hits, so you take a 5-foot step and you attack him with the rapier, and the 13 lands. Go ahead and roll damage.
How do you want me to roll the
The wolfsbane that you coated
Wolfsbane.
your weapon with, you'll just roll an extra 1d8. Okay. So you're a swashbuckler, and there's no other targets around you, so you get your sneak attack. So that's 22 damage, which gets treated as silver because you have the wolfsbane, and then you get the extra 7. So that's 29 total damage.
Okay.
Oh my god.
The wolf's bane only lasts an hour, though.
Oh, that's so much damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Way to go, Idaho.
I broke my potion.
No?
I help.
Okay.
You did. You gave me the ingredient.
Oh yeah.
I'm helping.
You are. Is there anything else you like?
Nah.
All right. So you end your turn there?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Another werewolf rounds the tent and circling. It reaches damsel. And blood frenzied, perhaps by the roses, or perhaps just by the smell of blood in the air, begins to tear, or try to tear into the closest fleshy thing it can get its hands on. Not seeing the smaller wizard, it instead reaches for damsel with both of its claws and its fangs.
Does it hit?
We're about to find out.
Not hard to hit a horse.
I believe the horse's AC... Let me check a riding horse. Is 10. Claw 1 misses. Claw 2 misses. Bite 1 misses.
Damn.
I got a 7,
Damn,
a
it's
6,
cold
and a
tonight.
7. I used all my good rolls on the initiatives. Alright. Alright, Richard, you just see a fucking werewolf try and hurt your horse, and now it's your turn.
Okay.
Alright.
Well then. Well, he's got kicked. He's waking up, and all this stuff is happening, and now his blood's pumping, and he's just like, and he stands up, and that uses half of his movement, I believe.
You could have been stood up. Other people moved around and did.
But it's his turn though. This is the initiative. It's my first turn, so I was sitting on my butt. Gotta get up.
Fair enough. You think?
But at the same time, my magic armor moves on its own, dons itself to me within one round. That's pretty awesome. So I initiate that. I stand up, and then I still have an action. I reach up with my halberd and I say, by Bahamut's might, I bless thee. And I use a second level spell, and I bless Raz, Talandra, Esme, Calliope.
Nice.
They're blessed by the dragon.
Gosh, yeah. And he has Raziel has like a
Is that?
Raziel just flew by on his airplane.
Who did you bless? Esme, Raziel?
Raz, Esme, Talandra, and Calliope.
Okay.
Anyone who's basically like locked in, surrounded by, fighting, currently
Okay.
a werewolf.
Alright. A set of wings envelops each one of you before shimmering into and around you, enveloping you in that blessed warmth of the Platinum Dragon. That power, that blessing bestowed on Richard to carry the Platinum Dragon's light wherever he roams, is now granted to you for the next 10 rounds.
feel the true power of vengeance.
Invigorated.
Is there anything else you'd like to do, Richard?
I think that's it.
Okay.
That's all I can do. I guess I would have like 15 feet to move, but I don't have anywhere to go, so.
Okay. All right, with Richard's turn coming to an end, you watch as the other heavy mist begins to evaporate from around a second white wolf. This one's mane heavy and matted and gray beginning to grow around its muzzle, though decorated with beads and braids. This one waves her clawed hands through the air, almost delicately, as if this one is able to contain her primal urges, and instead begins to beseech in a strange druidic language some powers that may lie within the roses as their petals begin to dry up, and slowly they all begin to die. Raziel, you hear the distant toll of what you believe to be a haunting, horrible bell. Like a fog horn through the mists, you hear something beckoning to you, and it rattles you to the bones. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw. Okay. You are able to deny the call of the bell, and toll the dead does not affect you.
Your justice and death is but at hand. Face me, coward!
One of the werewolves before you answers your call to face you, and teeth and claw come flying your direction again. 13 for the bite. 9 for a claw, and then 20 for the second claw.
13 and 9 don't succeed, but the 20 does.
Okay.
And I take it.
Okay, you receive 4 slashing damage from the last claw to rake against you.
Is that what you got?
There is this strange gurgling snarl from the creature as its eyes roll back into its head and that red glow begins to emanate from its eye sockets. The wolf in the fire howls in pain before leaping back to its feet. It's going to receive 1d4 fire damage from beginning its turn in the flames. And still ignited, it runs towards you, Richard. And howling in fury and in pain, it attempts to clench its teeth down on you. As armor plates assemble themselves on your body, it searches for that leftover soft spot. Seeking to bite down, it lands a 20 on you.
Ouch.
Does that deal any... Does that land, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right.
That lands.
Oh. You're going to take 5 piercing damage from the bite, and I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw as the curse of lycanthropy begins to etch itself into your blood.
Constitution saving throw.
Yes, sir.
Rolled.
That's a 5. All right.
I did double roll it, huh?
You did. Oh. Sorry, I was supposed to let other people call out their rolls.
It's a 5.
That's kind of what we determined last time. Okay. 5
Well,
it is.
that's a saving throw, right?
That is a saving throw, yes.
So I'm going to use the aura of the guardian to give him a once-over.
Ooh. Okay, we'll take that 22 then. That double roll was meant for something. Whenever you or a friendly creature within 10 feet of you, 10 feet, you must make a saving throw. The creature gains a bonus to the saving throw equal to your charisma modifier. Okay, you must be conscious to... Okay. Equal to your charisma modifier.
Right.
Okay, so what's your charisma modifier? He doesn't get a re-roll, technically.
For my charisma modifier, then?
Yes. What is your bonus from charisma? Like a +1 or 2 or 3 or 4? Or even 5,
It's a 2. It's a 2.
Okay. So you don't get to re-roll it, Richard. It just ends up being a 7 instead of a 5, unfortunately.
Okay, so I'm a werewolf.
But this is active all the time, by the way.
You're not a werewolf. Don't.
The creature gains a bonus. Okay.
No, I'm a werewolf.
No, you're not.
I'm a
Richard.
werewolf now.
You being the calm, elected Hans figure, this warrior of patience and wisdom, that inner strength that is tempered with that wisdom, you can feel that calmness beginning to erode. So whatever fury this creature has bitten you with, whatever anger you saw in its primal eyes, begins to burn into the wound you just received. And 2 claws come digging into you as well. 19 and 14 are the rolls.
18 is my AC, so
Okay.
one of those hits.
I'll keep that
The
in
19
mind.
hits.
You receive 9 slashing from the claw. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, 9 slashing. And then the other claw strikes against the plate of armor that covers you the moment it's just going to strike up into your belly. That plating sets in and just king, and sparks go flying off of the creature's chipped nails instead. All
How
right.
much damage was the bite? The first bite? I missed that.
Let me check.
I guess I can. Oh no, I can't check.
You can't see, but I can.
Yeah.
The bite was 5 piercing.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Okay, that brings us to Raziel.
You have entered the wrong camp. Taste what your brethren have consumed.
And then I make my first attack on this guy and my second attack on this guy.
First
Oh,
attack
that's
goes to
scary.
the right or the left?
Hmm?
Right or left for first attack? Oh, okay.
First attack, this guy.
To the right.
Second attack,
Okay.
this guy.
1 right, 2 left.
One, yes.
First attack lands.
There's that, plus my 1d6.
Okay. That's 16 magical slashing damage. Plus 1 radiant from Dag's spirit. All right. And then your other attack? The 18 lands. I keep forgetting to let people call out their own rolls. What'd you get?
17 and a 17. To both of them, actually. Yeah,
You got 17 damage? And
on
17.
both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Feel the
That's-
rage.
That's how much slashing and how much radiant?
So 14 slashing to this one and
Mhm.
3 radiant to this one. That's going to be 16 slashing and 1 radiant to that one.
Perfect.
Plus, I believe I already did 12 to that motherfucker when I originally hit.
Okay. I
Yes.
believe your 12 was to this one, and this one is from the other mists. But you are correct. Because you drove your sword into the one that slashed at Sunny, which is this one.
Oh, okay.
Yep, so this is just to give you a bit of continuity. That's the one
Yes.
that you hit first, and then you turned, slashed this one, went back, hit this one again. So you're just like a fury of blows slashing at 2 different targets at the moment.
The shadows give me strength, and Dag gives me the right of justice. To arms!
Nice. All right, so your turn comes to an end, Raziel. That brings us to
Yes.
Calliope.
Richard would want me to protect the horses, so I will attack this one near me with my sunblade out. Ugh.
All right, radiant sword flashing through the air. You get a 12 plus 1d4 from your bless.
Well, and does that hit? Because you better be
The,
burning.
the 12 hits, so if you don't want to roll the d4, you don't have to.
I think I'll take it on my own.
Okay. And how much damage did you do?
20.
20? So we got...
Mhm.
Okay. So we're not going to apply the undead target one, because it's technically not undead. Not even technically, it's just not undead at all.
Oh, it's just 14.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So 14 damage. That sounds good. We apply that to the creature. That dirty creature. Alright, Radiant Blade slashes through and brings the sun's might onto these lycanthropes powered by the full moon and these blood roses.
I don't know that. Don't flavor text me. I don't
I'll
even see the
flavor
roses
text
yet.
the shit out of you. All right. So that's one strike. Anything else you'd like to do?
A second strike if it didn't fell this abomination.
It's still going strong. What's your second attack?
16.
16 radiant damage. Is that 17 landed? Okay. Sounds good. So the creature receives 16 as again searing flesh and burnt hair follows the downward strike. Calliope's sunsword.
And I look up and I just see Sunny hiding behind Damsel, and it just makes me stutter a little bit.
You appeared over there. Give him a chance.
I'm having a moment of Last Samurai.
Oh, okay. Tom Cruise over here.
Tom Cruise.
Never saw
Even
it.
though fuck it, Tom Cruise. It's really that other actor that's badass. Just like, and everybody's just like.
I forget that guy's name. That guy's pretty cool. All right. So, Calliope, is there anything else you'd like to do? Turn. Attack twice.
I attacked twice, and I'd hate to disengage. I mean, I'm fricked if I'm going left or right, so I'm going to hold my ground.
That's pretty true.
I'll call it.
All right. So, if that's the end of your turn, that brings us to the werewolf, who has closed the distance with Esme and begins to tear into her, or at least attempt. Claws and fangs come flashing from the snow. There's a 15 as its attempt to bite comes towards Esme. Does
Nope.
a 15 land?
Nope.
Okay. It gets 19 with its second attempt with a claw and 11 on the third attempt to attack.
The 19 hits, but I would like to do an uncanny dodge as well. And use my reaction.
Okay.
So it halves the damage.
Okay. And your reaction you have.
I am using the reaction I have.
All right. So you would have received 7 slashing, so instead you're going to receive 3, which is half that. Okay. Rogues, man. Rogues, man. They're so good. Okay.
Dodgy dodgy.
Dodgy dodgy. While Esme is dodging the werewolf within the snow, Talandra is dealing with her own, having stood up from her stump and fended off a series of attacks with her shields and delivered a series of blows of her own. The werewolf attempts to retaliate and bring down this cleric, who has brought down quite a number of foes, potentially even more powerful than this. Giant treants and all sorts of terrible things. Talandra is like a force to be reckoned with, so let's see what happens with this werewolf. A bite comes in. 5. I rolled a 1. Unfortunate. Claws. 22.
That
And
hits?
14.
That does not.
Okay. That's 7 slashing damage from the claws.
Okay. 7 slashing damage.
Okay.
It kind of, like, I can imagine the first one deflects, and the second one just kind of cuts through my shoulder as I've held up the shield to deflect the first one. I can see the blood beginning to soak into my white sleeve.
All right. Again, you get to respond, Talandra. It's your turn now.
When I'm surveying the fields thus far, I again turn to my compatriots and now see that they're surrounded. The white wolves. Those are the ones we must take. They're empowering the others. Try your best to break combat and move forward. The white ones are first. And I would like... I'm going to cast... Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I was reading the difference between these two. Yeah, I kind of point my hand towards the white wolf, and coalescing radiant energy begins to swirl and swirl and swirl and illuminate the area around. And what takes shape is a large dwarf standing, made totally of radiant light, with a shield and hammer like mine in front of this white wolf. And I cast Guardian of Faith. So it has to make a DC dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
There we go.
Does not succeed.
Okay. So it will take 20 radiant damage
Okay.
as my large guardian illuminating light just kind of sears into it.
Raziel cackles like a madman.
And I kind of withdraw my spell hand. That's one. Hopefully, it can keep it busy. Calliope, Richard, you must take the other.
It is our form of vengeance and vindication. Come, other beasts.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that was what level spell that was. Sorry, okay, that's an action. Okay, and then with my bonus action, I will attack the wolf in front of me with my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
25.
25 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
11 force damage on the wolf
11
in front of me.
force. Okay.
As I kind of motion to bring it up against its rib cage.
The unmistakable sound of ribs, heavy, almost fused together ribs cracking. That blunt force magic trauma just shudders to that creature's body. But you can see it almost looks unaffected by its body being ravaged by trauma and pain. And it seems to be growing more ravenous by the moment. You can see there's a strange metamorphosis coming over this hybrid creature, even more hideous than its original transformation. You can see there's blood beginning to spout from its fingertips as elongated talons and claws are beginning to grow and take shape.
In this moment, Raziel shouts out loud, "You are trapped in here with us, not with you!"
The fangs of the werewolves before you hang open and slobbering saliva just oozing from their mouths. Whatever had been a hybrid form of their humanity seems to be very much taking a back seat to the animalistic nature within them, being stirred or awoken by this strange blood rose ritual that has been cast over this valley. It's clearing. Though the roses have been drained of what life had seemed to momentarily, spontaneously bring them here, as they've turned an ashen gray, dried up, and begun to wilt. And now gray petals are beginning to swirl with those blood-red ones that still dance around within the blizzard storm. Talandra, is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Oh, sorry, no, my apologies.
No, it's okay.
I'll end my turn kind of reiterating to Calliope and Richard, we need to take the white wolves first.
Shane, do you think I could ask you to just move your mic a little closer? It's just getting to that point where my phone is just not picking up the wavelength.
Interesting.
Everyone else is blaring loud, but then when I get to you, I'm on speakerphone and I'm holding it on my ear and I'm barely hearing you.
Is my volume okay for everybody else?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
There's always a problem when it's just on my phone. It's something weird about the exact frequency of your voice that just my phone speakers, it just, I don't know. It never,
Okay.
It always sounds so quiet.
I wish I could help you, but I'm
Discord.
literally like eating my microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just put headphones in.
I mean, yeah, I could do that. I haven't found them after my move yet, but I will.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
It's all good.
I'm like, I'm like eating this bitch. All right.
I can hear it. It's beautiful.
Oh, thanks. All right. Okay.
And one other quick question: does blink ignore height?
You can blink in any direction, vertically. Yeah. So if you want to blink
But,
up
like-
top on a cliff from like a ground level,
Right, but blink only has a range of 10 feet, but like it ignores height entirely, right? As long as I'm within 10 feet horizontally.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, I could go like all the way up to the top of Mount Everest, hypothetically, if I was next to Mount Everest on a straight cliff, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, if you had that distance, yeah. So if you were like to blink onto the wall, you could technically do that or something.
Right, that's you see where I'm going with this.
I got it. Just a little bit. Okay. That brings us to one of the werewolves. And you can see that same metamorphosis has overcome this werewolf. That blood craze seems to have stricken its muscles, growing it in bulk, its claws elongating. Night Mother, grant me a boon. The creature seems to move with a haze of speed, unbeknownst to it before. I got a 14 on a bite, a 15 on a claw, and a 19 on a claw.
To whom?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is against Raziel. It's the beast.
So,
Before you, Raziel, attempts to lay into you.
a 14, a 15, and a what?
A 14, a 15, and a 19.
What was the bite?
A 14.
Okay. Bite doesn't do. The other two do.
Okay. The first claw, 5 slashing. Second claw, 7 slashing. So that's 12 slashing damage. Yep. And that's going to be this one on your right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to, as that motherfucker is attacking me, look at it.
And as your soul needs to find purity and justice.
15 dexterity for that 27.
Oh my god, that's fire damage roll.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What the fuck? Okay, dexterity saving. And does it take half on a dex save? I think if it's a dex save, they always take half. Well, too bad,
take half.
it rolled a 1, so it takes all of it.
My god, Raziel.
Playing it.
Okay. Describe yourself burning this creature away.
Jesus.
You see, as Raziel has a moment of sheer, unequivocal madness, he understands what most seem to not. It's why he joins Esme, looking around going, we must purify. Justice is at hand.
And he stretches out his right hand and burns the complete soul, body, and flesh of that motherfucker. It just singes into ash, complete ash.
All right.
You have been purified by justice.
And he looks over at this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And tries to use intimidate if he can.
Oh, that's the motherfucker you burned to ash.
Oh,
Yeah.
then the other one.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Alright, roll your intimidation check.
That tracks with the Raziel alternate universe of being a crazy man.
Oh. So, unfortunately, you're not sure if this creature even understands words at this moment.
That gives Raziel a little bit more hard. He digs it.
Jesus Christ.
He grips into his stance. After burning its companion to the ground, he looks at it. And as it rears up for battle,
you know nothing.
And braces. And that ends his turn.
All right. Well, it wasn't your turn. That was just a reaction.
Sorry. Yeah, my
I
reaction.
got lost there for a second. I was like, wait, Raziel's turn. Oh, wait a second. It's not his turn.
I killed this motherfucker.
You did.
That's right.
Not even on your turn either. Nice. Okay, Sunny. That brings us to you, sir. Sort of coalescing back from the mist.
So,
What do you do?
I look around, and I've misty stepped over here, and these werewolves have caught up with me.
They have.
Nice.
Nimble creatures you are. I look left, just snow. I look right, just snow. To my back, the wall. Now, Sonny is a survivalist. He recognizes that he's cornered here. But I look up. And as all that Sonny does is close his eyes. And in a much, much different sort of methodology. I was going to use the word animation, but that makes it feel like I'm describing a video game. Sonny just blinks out of existence. The moment that my two eyelids come together, gone. Nothing. No smoke, no sound, absolutely nothing. Although, actually, I have to make my roll first, don't I? But I will use a luck point to make sure I get this roll. Let's go ahead and roll it once. Let's see if I get it on the first one. I'll just... First one does not get it. Let's roll it again. Oh, just got it. Okay, so Sonny blinks out of existence. And, yes, Jillian?
Does Calliope notice this blink?
I mean, it's completely soundless. Like, it's if you are looking at my direction, of course. But there is absolutely no audible, verbal, like, cue that this is happening. The spell simply moves me to the ethereal plane.
Shit wizard. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's it. So he's gone. As I can hold this up to 1 minute. So, yep. Oh, poison mushroom buddy.
Yeah.
I gotta reload the battle map again. 1 second. This has never happened to me before.
What's the difference between a 9 and 11?
I have to roll 11 or higher to get the spell, to get the word. That's it. It's an 11 or up. If I don't, I fail. So I just
and it's
got
at the end of each of his turns during the duration.
Exactly.
Okay.
So while I'm on the ethereal plane, I actually will go ahead and take my movement, so that when I reappear, I will be up on the rooftop. I guess I can move 10 feet, so I'll be like here. Yeah, sweet.
I see what you were
if it's
trying
up there,
to say.
that'd be 50.
Okay. Yeah. I see what you were trying to say with the mountain thing, where if it's like 5 feet next. No. This, I thought you meant like. Okay, I'm reading the blink spell, and for some reason I think I like confused it with the dimension door spell, which lets you move like 100 and something feet. This lets you go into the ethereal. Okay. This is a little different. Yeah, this is a little different than what I was thinking in my head. This is what I get for being unfamiliar with all the spells.
That's all right. It's a rather niche third level wizard spell. So
yeah. So right now you're in the ethereal, so you're untouchable, but you can't move up to that wall because that's like 40 feet up and then like 10 feet back. So if you had something that could move you like 50 feet, you could get up there. But with blink, it's not gonna climb you 50 feet vertically. That's my bad, because you asked before and I was like, yeah, sure.
I see. Well, what if I used what if like used a dash or something like next turn or something? Could that be potentially like to get the height?
Yeah, you can go
While
like
I'm
right
ethereal?
here, dude. Say you go right here, ethereal. Nobody could still see you. You've like gone Frodo status. So if you were here and you went here, it's like you're still within the shadow of this, and you're still not even in that plane, and nobody can.
Yeah, it's literally
see
what
you.
he's saying. You're like Frodo in that strange ethereal plane.
Yeah.
And you can't
Sure.
like climb up things, but you could like move through this wall. Like this wall right now in front of you is ethereal, and you could walk through it.
Right, but then what would happen when I reappear?
You'd be on the other side
I would
of the
get pushed
wall.
back out.
No, if you were in the wall, you would actually receive damage. If you were outside of the wall, you don't.
Correct.
So what does it mean when it says the range of the spell is 10 feet? Do I then also get my movement? Like, what does that 10 feet even mean then?
Okay, so reading it, at the start of your next turn, when the spell ends, you return to an unoccupied space of your choice that you see within 10 feet from where of the space you vanished from. So basically, you're going to like morph back into where you were, but it doesn't have to be exactly where you were. It can be like 10 feet. It can be in the general area.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to go for a little walk.
Yeah.
We're going inside the walls, baby.
You see a strange, shadowy version of the village of Krezek. You can kind of see through walls, and you can see that some of the houses are cramped with 6 to 8 people living in a small one-room hut. But it's sort of confusing, and the juxtaposition between reality and the ethereal gives you sort of like almost like a dizzy feeling. But you can certainly, you're in the village of Kresik right now, and you can like see shadowed versions of the buildings, and very much so you could enter the huts just like you walked through this wall if you wanted to.
Right. Well, let me check how far I've moved. I've already moved too far. That was 40 feet, so I'll move myself back 1 square, and then
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's as far as I can go. So Fenny's just on the ethereal plane, right on the other side of the wall, and yeah, that's the dealio. And then I'm gonna have to go because we're gonna eat dinner, and then I've got stuff I've got to do tonight before stuff closes, which is in 1 hour.
Cool.
So I'm gonna
I was
bounce
just
away.
about to end this
Yeah.
here, but yeah.
You went to the abyss and nobody knows where you are.
Right. Are we just gonna end after this round? Do you think?
Yeah, we're gonna end after this.
Okay, then I can chill for a few minutes.
Okay.
So that's oh, and then mushroom buddy.
Yeah, go. You can move him or roll the poison. Both.
So, gosh, there's not really anywhere that he can. All right, I guess he'll just go here and he'll just engage with this. No, he'll stay pretty central and he'll engage with this one. He'll just let out the mushroom, the spore.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a 13 Constitution.
All right, I'm rolling that now. It does not make the saves. Go ahead and roll that poison damage.
5 again. He's kicking ass.
Yeah, he's done a decent amount of damage so far.
He's contributed 15 damage to this battle. Just that little guy.
Yeah,
For free.
yeah.
Sweet.
Like it's not
Mushroom
a lot,
buddy
but
kicks
it's like the little nicks that help sometimes. All right.
Right, and it's a free action. That's the thing. It's like he just exists separately. Like he doesn't detract from any of Sunny's actions. It's great.
Yeah. That's why it costs
that's my-
money
that's
to
my-
change them too. That's the cost. Is that 50
Right.
gold?
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. But it's Alrighty, we're gonna end that there.
All right. So with Sunny's turn at an end, one of the white wolves makes their way over towards the other. That brings us to Esme's turn. Esme, you still face that wolf before you, whose wound now gapes and is not healing. That Wolf's Bane potion is proving very useful.
I'm just going to stab him again.
All right. Stabby.
Oh, I accidentally scrolled up. Bear with.
Take your time.
If a 14 doesn't hit, I will reroll my lucky, but I believe it does.
A 14 does hit, but even if it didn't, you're blessed.
You also
So
have
you
a
would've-
1d4.
Oh, yeah. Damn those godly type.
But you hit, so you can roll your damage. God damn.
Jesus.
Yes.
All right, that's enough to lay this werewolf in its grave, in its bloodthirsty primal urge, fueled by the full moon and the blood roses. It doesn't matter. Its life has come to an end. Describe yourself ending this werewolf.
Esme doesn't really make much of a dramatic effect out of her kill, mainly because she's sort of
I'll
peered
find
over her
out how it
shoulder and noticed how how busy everyone is. So even if she were to finish with a flourish, she wouldn't be noticed. So what's the point? And with a very swift, just aim for the artery, kill it quickly, kill it swiftly. But as it falls and sort of bleeds out into the snow, like this crimson staining into the white, that's checkmate. And then her cheeks immediately redden and she looks over the shoulder in desperate hope that nobody heard her using a dragon chess analogy.
Beautiful.
I wish I could fucking roll for that. I don't feel like I can. I can't do it.
I
won't do
want
it.
to know. I want to know.
Please, please,
I'm a gambler.
please.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll your perception. Oh, all right. Roll your perception checks.
He
I
whispered it. Can I roll stealth against it because she didn't want it to be heard? For a stealthy whisper.
Oh, it's already a really high DC, but you can do it if you want. You can
Damn
roll
it.
for it if you want. There's a blizzard and combat, and she said it under her breath.
Yeah.
You
And we're
dirty
25
dirty.
feet away.
A gambler.
You're so dirty. I love it.
Who's dirty?
Dirty.
She's dirty.
You're dirty.
Esme,
You're
yeah.
dirty.
I make myself to be dirty.
Roll your perception. Won't get it.
I'll be so upset if you get it, Jared.
Oh, can I?
Yeah, you won't get it though.
Yeah. No. Okay.
That's being that 20, right?
I'm gonna have.
It's 35.
Is this 3.5? Jesus Christ, that
No.
DC. Holy shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I'm gonna. No. All right, I'll fucking do it.
Okay.
Shoot your
Okay.
shot.
Yeah.
Nope, you don't hear a shit. Esme, your secret is safe. Though you're not certain if it
For
is or
now.
not. For now.
And then for my movement, she just steps over the corpse and makes her way around the back of the tent to peer through the snow and try to sort of prepare herself for the white wolves.
All right.
But just
Right.
with movement, I'm not going to use my dash because I want to save my bonus action for next turn.
Okay. Calliope, you are attacked by the werewolf next to you. A bite and 2 claws come your direction. The bite is a 16. The claws are both 11s.
Don't hit.
Nice. All right, fending off that blood-frenzied werewolf. It comes to Richard's turn now.
Roar!
He awakens.
Yes.
The anger within my heart. I slash at. Let's see here. Well, werewolf right next to me. I'm going to attack it twice
Okay, fair
with my
enough.
halberd.
This guy?
You
Yeah.
see the one in front of you is extremely weak. It's coughing up blood, and its body, still on fire and smoldering, has been set to ruin by the flames of the campfire and Calliope's sunblade. You're not certain it will even take 2
Actually-
attacks, but we'll see.
I'm going to go for the one that attacked my horse because I'm really angry.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I think that's a better. I think that's a better depiction or action.
Okay, it's up to you.
Right.
Yeah. So two attacks on that one.
All right, fair enough. The one next to Damsel.
Yeah.
Very good.
Damsel Washington.
Damsel.
Damsel.
I was about to say that. I was meaning to say that.
Get out of my head.
You, Hannah.
Mike.
All right,
All right.
21.
Right.
Or sorry,
All right.
I keep calling out numbers because I'm looking at the chat and like expectantly. Go ahead, you can say them.
All right. I rolled a 21.
That hits.
I hit. All right, and I damaged it with 6 damage.
6 slashes.
6.
All right.
And then it wasn't enough damage. I didn't connect hard enough with the first one, and so I'm going to smite it with my second
Oh
one
shit!
because I'm super pissed.
A
The anger
precious
of
smite.
the werewolf within me.
True. That primal rage inside of you is
Rawr.
continuing to grow.
Within you.
And so I slap it.
All right.
And so it's been a while since I've done this.
Been a while.
It's been a while. It just adds 2d8, right? It just adds 2d8. Extra radiant damage to the target plus 1d8 for each spell level. Unless it's undead, then it gets another one. Okay, so it's just 1d8. Sweet. Been a little bit.
You're okay.
So I rolled my damages. I got a 14. Hooray!
Not bad.
All right, and then I get 2d8.
Is your weapon magical or sacred in any way at the moment?
Not right now.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
first strike was regularly, and this one is divine.
Okay. Good to know.
Didn't you bless your halberd in the beginning of combat? I
No.
just wanted
No,
to
he
do-
did not.
Oh.
He did not.
No, I
blessed other
blessed
people.
4 people,
You blessed
and
me.
then I
Ah.
channel my divinity and use
Okay.
sacred weapon.
Okay.
Usually,
Thank you for your blessings.
but I'm too angry
Yeah.
right now for
The
that.
blessings are nice. Describe yourself furiously killing this werewolf.
Woo! I cleave him in twain.
Right.
In twain.
In twain, like Mark Twain.
Made in the membrane.
In twain, in the membrane.
That
was a
jagged
better
edge of
Fuck
your
you.
I feel
halberd
old because I gotta use Mark Twain. But you know what? You're old too.
within twain. So that jagged edge of your halberd cuts
That's an
surprisingly
old
clean with that powerful stroke, and that top half of the creature falls haphazardly and diagonally from the rest of its body.
Get away from my ride.
He did.
Nobody touches my ride.
Very good. My lady, are you safe? My lady
Damsel's
Denzel.
Do I
gonna
roll
be even more in love with him.
Constitution
Does she
for-
like swoon? Do horses swoon?
We're not asking those
In Mexico.
Do you roll Constitution? No, you are already cursed.
I'm a werewolf.
The spirit of the beast is
Not
growing
for long.
and entwining with your very soul
Could I-
and blood, Richard,
Can I
tainting
resist any
you.
cleansing that I receive? Because I can be
Do
paladin
you
werewolf.
want to be a paladin werewolf of Bahamut? Because I would
So
fucking
sick.
love that.
So sick.
You can
I mean,
feel
it doesn't
the
make me
curse
not a paladin
changing
anymore.
you. You can feel the power of the curse just taking over your mind, Richard, and you know if you let this thing come to its fruition, it will not empower you. It will change you. You will no longer have control over yourself. You will no longer be the Richard that you know.
You hear an
So it's
echo.
not like cool werewolf. It's like
It's like really
Rocking
bad
in a
to
corner
become
werewolf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like a
Oh,
Not a vampire.
you totally hear an echo
I've
of
been lied to by pop
vengeance,
culture.
justice.
not Morbin time.
It's not Morbin time.
It's Morbin time.
Is that the end of your turn, Richard, or do you want to do
Yeah, I cleaved him in twains.
Okay. Well, with this battle
And I
half
turn and look at the
over-
other one that's next to me.
Fair
Sorry.
enough. That one
So,
is looking rough.
the
Yes.
poor kid.
Uh-huh. Poor K?
You're ending it.
I am attempting to end the session. With the battle half over, we will have to continue it the next time we play some D&D on Within the Mists.
Within the mist.
Within the
My spirit.
Mists.
Within the mid.
We
I
will
wanted to
continue
use my
the
spirit
legends
garden.
within the mist. I'll have to
Well,
get a
you
token.
can't yet.
I'll have to get
You'll
a
have to
token
wait till
for
next time.
your giant